I don't remember a life without racing.
Justin Allgaier was raised at the races. His dad, Mike, sold racing tires, and young Justin dreamed of one day getting behind the wheel.
I remember some of the earliest days going to the racetrack as a really young child, and just remembering the feeling of what that was like. And I have a buddy, we'd introduce ourselves and we'd make jokes about one of these days we're gonna be there, we're gonna be doing that.
His racing debut came at the age of 5, driving a quarter midget roadster. By age 12, Justin became a 5-time quarter midget champion. Though racing was important, the Allgaier's priority was their faith.
Even though we traveled a lot, and even though we were gone a lot, Sunday morning we did everything we could. If we had to drive all night, we drove all night. Sunday morning we were sitting there in church.
In 2006, at age 20, Justin began racing full-time in the ARCA Racing Series, NASCAR's minor league.
You continued to climb the ranks. What did you want out of the sport as a young guy?
I never got into racing because of fame or because of money or because of the perks that might come with it. For me, it was all about going to the racetrack, competing at a high level, and using the gifts that I had been given.
While Justin's NASCAR aspirations were fueled by his passion for the sport, the financial cost of racing began taking its toll and threatened his dreams.
We were scrapping together every dollar that we could put together to be able to go to the racetrack, and I knew that something was stressing my dad out. I could kind of see it, I could kind of feel it. He said, "Hey, listen, your mom and I are out of money. We've spent every dime we can spend to go racing. We've done everything we can do, and it's just not meant to be. So, make the most of everything we got right now, because I don't know if we'll ever be able to do this again." And having aspirations of obviously making it to the Cup Series and being in NASCAR, that was kind of a devastating blow.
Justin says he asked God for help and got an immediate answer. Before his next race, he was introduced to the director of competition at Penske Racing, one of the largest teams in the sport of NASCAR.
We went out, I raced, and of all days, I ended up winning that day. It was a fantastic race for us. A racetrack that we shouldn't have won at, but I ended up winning that day. And 24 hours later, literally 24 hours later, I was sitting in Detroit, Michigan, with Roger Penske, going over on a legal pad, writing down different things that would ultimately end up being my contract and an opportunity to race full-time in NASCAR.
Justin says God affirmed his racing dreams, and it was even better than he imagined.
God closes doors all the time. As selfish as we are, we're typically not willing to let that door close, right? But on the other hand, there's a lot of times where you make peace with closing that door, and then the door kicks wide open, and it's even tenfold of what you thought it was going to be.
Today, Justin is one of the premier drivers in NASCAR's Xfinity Series, driving for Junior Motorsports. In March of this year, he won the Echo Park 250 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Justin is thankful for both the gifts and opportunities God has given him.
I have no reservations about where my talent comes from, and the opportunities that I'm given, where they come from. It's definitely a gift of God. And you can see trophies behind me, and those are awesome. And I love looking at trophies and reminiscing of old stories from different races. But on the other hand, they're just pieces of metal. And when I'm gone, they're gonna tarnish and rust and probably get thrown in the trash someday. When it's all said and done, you have to be thankful for the opportunities and the people that you meet and the opportunities that you're given. I'm extremely blessed, and I don't take that for granted. What I want people to know is just that I'm a believer in Christ. That's just been my goal since I started racing, and has carried all the way through.